What is up, everybody? Welcome back. So, if you were there tonight to watch my blind tastings for week 2, super excited to have you there. I'm going to do a brief little debrief on results for wine 1. I'm sorry, for week 1. This will be brief. Got my results right after recording week 1, and I was so focused on trying to post things and make sure I was sharing with everybody. So that's where we're at. This is going to be very brief. We're going to talk about week 1 and the whole flight. So we'll start with wine 1, which I called Chardonnay. I called it a Premier Cru Chablis. I thought there was oak influence, but I didn't think that it was predominant. I thought it was texture. The color was golden. Like the color was, and even when I'm going to reveal what it is, I'm looking at all the reveals and trying to talk about how we can make sure we talk about these things and tasting wine and all this shit. I call Chardonnay Premier Cru. There was texture, there was tree fruit, there was all this different fruit components. It was not ripe. It was old world for sure. And I thought that there was this oak influence and this texture that took me to Chablis. I called Premier Cru Chablis because it's not even an instance where there's like new oak. Premier Cru, they start utilizing oak. And so that's where I thought the texture was from. But wine number 1 was a wine that I forget about all the time, and I just don't think about it at all. It was Bordeaux Blanc. So Bordeaux white wines, we're talking about Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. Usually, they're blends. Some Bordeaux Blanc, you might have 100% Semillon, you might have 100% Sauvignon Blanc. There's often oak usage, so my presence of oak, cool, but yeah, I missed, and I tried to go back to get some of my own textures and calls. I did call pyrazines, so I did think that there was probably Sauvignon Blanc in there, but eventually I really just thought it was Chablis, and I was completely wrong. So wine number 1, Bordeaux Blanc, Chateau Pic Caillou 2020 Young Bordeaux Blanc. Wine number 2, I call Sancerre. And if you go back and watch the video, I have green notes for all wines 1, 2, and 3. And green notes are a thing where you have to think about, are they herbs? Are they pyrazines? Are they... And in white wines, you don't think about like stem inclusion or whole cluster. That's a whole thing that you think about with red wines. So wine 2, I got these green notes, and I got this freshness, and I got this herb, and I got all skins and like pithiness. And I called Sancerre. I called Sauvignon Blanc Sancerre for wine 2, and it was week 1, wine 2, Gruner Veltliner. It didn't. It was not on my range. I think I actually put it in the initial conclusion because acid, fruit, lean. I think that, you get it right, you don't get it right, that's fine, but you also have to learn from when you're calling things and you have things in the realm of, we call them the triangles of doom. Yeah, I wasn't upset about it, but Gruner Veltliner was not in my range. So wine 1, Bordeaux Blanc, called Chardonnay. Wine 2, Gruner Veltliner, I called it Sancerre. So wine number 3. Wine number 3, Marlborough New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And if you go back and watch I nailed it. I don't get super excited about nailing it because you're going to be wrong so much more often than you are right. But on the nose, I remember it was super fruity. It was super green, super grapefruity, super chewy and stone fruity. All the fruit was there. So I was totally in the new world. And it totally took me to Sauvignon Blanc right away. Yeah, that was good. So wines 1, 2, and 3, all white wines. I nailed one. All right, we're about in 33%. Moving on to wine number 4. Wine number 4. Burping. I called Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir. I liked a lot of the calls that I made in this wine. And if you go back to watch, so the video is on my channel. I have clips on Instagram, but the clips on Instagram didn't figure out how to repost these videos. Now I know how to do it. But those were all the white wines. Now you get to talk to. I get to talk to you about the red wines. It was Pinot Noir. It was fresh and ripe. It was not old world, and there was a fanciness to it. There was oak. There was vanillin. There was dill and coconut. There was all these like comforting things that when you drink a wine, especially a red wine, a medium red wine, it takes you to a certain place. So I called Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir, and this was Peak Ranch from Santa Rita Hills, and I can totally see it in my brain. Like I wasn't going to Willamette. The fruit was too ripe, and I was thinking about Burgundy, but couldn't go there. So the old world style, this isn't, and it's from a region that is about old world style Pinot Noirs. Man, it was delicious. I can't wait to drink that again. Wine number 5. I was biased right off the bat by the way it looked, and by the way it smelled, and the way it tasted. I called Amarone della Valpolicella from Veneto, which has elevated alcohol. And in this one, I I did call that, and I even think I might have called elevated acid. I don't think so. I don't remember. I got into a place where I thought it looked like a thing, it smelled like a thing, tasted like a thing, and so I called Amarone della Valpolicella. So this is where we talk about being wrong and why what we do tasting is right. I did not pick up on any pyrazines, green notes, bell pepper, jalapeno, serrano, um, fajita, Taco Bell, all these like green notes. I got none of them. I got all the dried red fruit. I got tannin. I got things that I thought took me to Italy. So I called Amarone. It was Cordiero de los Andres Armenier from Cochagua. And it's 2017. So that was the other thing. It was garnet colored, and it looked old. So I thought it was Amarone. It was Carmenere. Wine number 6. This one for me, man, thought I had it. I went down again the Italy route because of how it looked, how it smelled. I smelled tomato and sun-dried tomato and basil. I was getting these like savory herbs, and eventually that would come to be when I got my results. It was green, but it was not the green that I thought. Spoiler alert: this was MA from Beaujolais, and Moulin Avant. Moulin Avant Cru Beaujolais 2021. Yeah, there's green because there's whole cluster. So the green notes that I was getting, and you learn to figure these things out. I haven't learned it yet, but it's definitely there's green notes in there, and that comes from a whole cluster. Medium body red wine. I thought it was more savory than it was, especially like Moulin Avant. I would never call these savory things. Chianti Classico is going to have more body. It's going to have more tannins, but this wine totally fooled me. So we went 2 for 6. 2 for 6. I got California Pinot Noir and I got Marlborough New Zealand Sauv Blanc. So that's where we're at. That's review for week 1. I have the results for week 2. I'm waiting for notes from my proctor, and then we will have a week 2 reveal. Hope you're well. Love you. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.